In the ancient land of Canaan, nestled between hills and protected by great walls, stood the fortified city of Jericho. It was a city of commerce and culture, but also of corruption. Merchants thrived, soldiers marched, and priests offered sacrifices to lifeless gods. Yet within this city, hidden in plain sight, lived a woman whose name would one day be written in eternal history. Her name was Rahab. She was not noble, nor a priestess, nor a queen. She was a prostitute. Her house was built into the city wall, strategically located for travelers, soldiers, and traders who sought not just rest, but the services she offered. She was known throughout Jericho. Her name passed in whispers, her presence both sought after and scorned. But beneath the surface of her profession lived a woman of deep perception, a heart that questioned the idols of her people, and ears that listened closely to rumors of a powerful god from across the Jordan. Rahab was no ordinary harlot. She was observant, discerning, and more aware of the spiritual conflict unfolding than the city elders themselves. Over the years, she had heard strange reports of a people traveling through the wilderness, led by a cloud by day and fire by night, of seas parting, of Egyptian armies drowning, of nations falling, and always the name of their God, Yahweh. In the silence of the night, Rahab would sometimes gaze at the stars from her rooftop, asking herself questions no one dared ask aloud. Could this Yahweh be real? Were the gods of Jericho truly in control? Or was there a higher power, one who judged righteously and showed mercy? The tension in Jericho grew thick. Fear crept into the hearts of men as news of Israel's advance reached their ears. Kings and commanders held secret meetings, spies were sent out, sacrifices increased at the altars of Baal and Ashtoreth. But none of it could still the rising panic. And then they came. 2 Hebrew men, spies sent from the Israelite camp. They moved quickly, quietly, seeking information. Somehow they found their way to Rahab's house. Perhaps they had been told she knew much, or perhaps it was divine appointment. Either way, Rahab welcomed them in. Not for money, but for destiny. Rahab had a choice to make. The king's men were already searching for the spies. Hiding them could mean death, but letting them go could mean missing a moment appointed by heaven. She chose to hide them. She took them to her roof and covered them with stalks of flax drying in the sun. When the king's messengers came to her door demanding answers, Rahab lied. "Yes, they came," she said, "but they have already left the city. If you hurry, you may catch them." They believed her, and when they were gone, she returned to the roof, looked into the eyes of the strangers, and made her plea. "I know the Lord has given you this land. We have heard what your God did at the Red Sea and to the kings of the Amorites. Your God is God in heaven above and on earth below. Now then, swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to me and my family." Rahab's declaration was not a negotiation. It was a confession of faith. She acknowledged the sovereignty of Yahweh with words more profound than many of Israel's own. In that moment, her house became a sanctuary, and she became a believer. The spies, moved by her courage, gave their word. "Tie this scarlet cord in your window, the very window through which you let us escape. Bring your father, mother, brothers, and all your family into your house. If they stay with you, they will be spared." A scarlet cord, bright red against the stones of her home. It was a sign of covenant, a symbol of faith, an echo of the blood on the doorposts in Egypt. To the Israelites, it was a mark of mercy. To Rahab, it was her only hope. As the days passed, Rahab prepared. She gathered her family, explained what would happen, and urged them to stay in her home. She didn't know when Israel would attack. She only knew they would. Her faith did not rest in the strength of the spies, but in the God who sent them. Around her, Jericho continued its daily rhythms. But Rahab was no longer part of its world. Her heart belonged to a different kingdom. She waited, prayed, and watched. The trumpet sounded. Israel had arrived. For 6 days they marched around the city, silent but purposeful. The people of Jericho mocked them, but Rahab trembled. She held her family close. On the 7th day, the march intensified. 7 times they circled the walls. Then came the great shout. The earth groaned, stones split, dust rose, the walls crumbled, Jericho fell, all except one part. The section of the wall where Rahab's house stood. Her home remained intact, surrounded by rubble. Her faith had held firm. Her scarlet cord had marked her for salvation. Rahab and her family emerged from their home, escorted by the very spies she had once protected. As flames consumed Jericho, Rahab walked into a new life. No longer a Canaanite prostitute, she was now part of the people of God. She settled outside the camp of Israel at first, but in time she married Salmon, a man from the tribe of Judah. Tradition says he may have been one of the 2 spies. Together, they built a life not on shame, but on grace. Rahab bore a son. His name was Boaz, a man of integrity and kindness. Boaz would one day redeem Ruth, a Moabitess widow, in a story that mirrored the grace Rahab had received. Through them came Obed, then Jesse, then David. From a prostitute in a pagan city to the great-great-grandmother of Israel's greatest king. Such is the power of redemption. Rahab's name is written in Matthew 1 in the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah. Hers is not a name of disgrace, but a testimony of grace. In Hebrews 11, she is listed among the heroes of faith. In James 2, she is called righteous. God did not erase her past. He redeemed it. Her scarlet cord became a symbol of the blood that would one day flow from the cross. Her faith foreshadowed the salvation offered to all through Christ. Rahab's story is not just history, it is prophecy. Her life points to a Savior who invites the outcast, forgives the sinner, and writes new beginnings. Her faith shows us that even the most broken pasts can lead to glorious futures. She reminds us that God does not look at our titles, reputations, or sins. He looks at our hearts, our faith, and our willingness to trust Him. In Rahab, we see the scandal of grace, that a prostitute could become a princess, that a liar could be a truth-bearer, that a foreigner could be a mother in the Messiah's line. This is the gospel. Her scarlet cord still hangs in history as a banner of hope. It tells us that salvation is not earned, it is received by faith. Let Rahab's story be your invitation. No matter who you are or what you've done, the scarlet cord still waves. There is room in the family of God for the least, the last, and the lost. There is room for you. Her name is Rahab, and her story is a story of redemption.